Imagine if I told you 10 years ago Marcus Rashford would sign for FC Barcelona at 27, 28 years old. Imagine if I told you 2, 3 years ago in the slums of Marcus Rashford's time at Manchester United under Ten Hag that he would sign for FC Barcelona in 2025. I wouldn't have believed you. You would have called me crazy. You would have thought the world is going mad. You would have thought we're going into another pandemic. That's how crazy it sounds. But I love this move for FC Barcelona. I love this move for Marcus Rashford. I just love overall the move of Marcus Rashford to FC Barcelona. It's fully confirmed. It's done. He was in Spain today to get his medicals and papers and everything signed, sealed, and delivered. And I'm going to talk to you about why I love this move for both sides. For both sides. I'm just excited for it. I'm interested to see what Rashford will do at Barcelona under Hansi Flick. I'm happy. I'm ready. I'm ready because I think I really believe Marcus Rashford to Barcelona this season will be a success. Now, what is my metric of success? We'll get to that. But I do think Marcus Rashford to Barcelona this season, he will have a positive impact on this Barcelona team, and he will be an overall successful signing, and both parties will be happy in the end. So let's get into the reporting. This is all we're going to see from Fabrizio today before we get to the points we need to talk about. Barcelona have sealed all the documents for Rashford deal, set to land in Spain. Understand, Barca will pay 14 million gross as salary coverage plus bonuses linked to appearances. Marcus takes 15% pay cut, and Man United will not cover his salary, and Barcelona will have a 30 million buy option for June 2026. So I think the only real negative here for Barcelona is they have to take on a 14 million a 14 million salary for Marcus Rashford. Now, for me, that's not an issue because it's not 14 million across a 5-year contract. Barcelona are getting Rashford on a 1-year deal. They have no obligation to buy him. They don't, they're not set with Marcus Rashford for 5 years down the line. It's 1 year, 14 million. This is a cost Barcelona can take in order to bring an attacking player to the team, namely an attacking player in the left wing position, which they have been clamoring for. Marcus takes 15% pay cut, and Man United will not cover his salary fine, and the 30 million buy option for June 2026. I love that. The buy option to buy him for 30 million. If Marcus Rashford goes to Barcelona and does what I think he's gonna do, 30 million might be an absolute steal. And if you think about it, he's still only 27. This is the crazy thing about Marcus Rashford. You guys, he's already been on the scene for a decade. He debuted for Man U at 16 years old, and now he's 27. He's been here for 10 years now, but he's 27. He's technically, theoretically, supposed to be in his physical prime. Now, I think a lot of the naysayers on this deal will still be stuck in the mindset of it's Rashford. He was trash at Manchester United, this and that. He was a failure. They loaned him out to Villa. I see this as, and I see other people waking up to this as, this can be a great deal for Barcelona. They can get an outstanding player in Marcus Rashford if they could get the best out of him. They see through the lies of Manchester United. They see through the bullshit of Manchester United how Manchester United, whatever toxic footballing sporting environment that is being and has been built at that club since Sir Alex Ferguson left, has affected the players. Quality players that go to Manchester United are affected by it and cannot perform to a high level. And I think Marcus Rashford, he wasn't a guy that came into that environment. He debuted back in 2015, 2016, but he's been there to see this environment grow. And I really always thought there's a player in Marcus Rashford. All he needs is a fresh start. And the evidence was there. The evidence was there that you see him go to Aston Villa, and within 2 or 3 weeks, he's starting for Aston Villa almost every week, or starting plenty of games for Aston Villa. He's getting assists. He's getting goals. He's having tangible output. He's playing with a brain. He's not playing as if he has the brain the size of an ostrich brain. By the way, the ostrich has the smallest brain of any mammal in the world. So you saw him go to Villa, a different environment, more welcoming environment of him. under a manager with like Unai Emery who really cares for his players. I wouldn't say he thrived to a world-class level, but you saw him go up for 2 or 3 levels from where he was at the dumps of Manchester United. So after seeing what Marcus Rashford did at Villa the last 6 months on his loan there, this is why I'm so excited for his move to Barcelona. And this is why I wanted Bayern, another team looking for a left winger, to go for a deal like this, a loan deal like this. And if he does well, you can buy him for 30 million. If he doesn't do well, you part your separate ways. You just paid a 14 million gross salary to him. It's an overall win for Barcelona because they're getting their left winger, and they're getting a left winger who's no bum. We saw at Villa, he still has it. He still has it. The Manchester United tax is real. You guys, Scott McTominay left Manchester United, led Napoli to a league title, and won Serie A Player of the Year. If that isn't enough evidence for you, Jadon Sancho was banished at Manchester United in the slums with Rashford. He goes on loan to Dortmund a season and a half ago, and he's one of the key players to lead Dortmund to the Champions League final. And now Marcus Rashford took a 6-month loan to Aston Villa, and he showed actual footballing ability. He showed an actual footballing brain. And he's still in his physical prime. Barcelona are bringing him in, and in this Barcelona team, with Marcus Rashford's pace, when he's on it, he's clinical. We saw at Aston Villa, he can provide great assists from the left wing for a Lewandowski. He's going to be crossing to Lewandowski, or he'll be playing alongside Ferran Torres with Rafinha in the middle, Lamine Yamal on the other side. Barcelona can extract real quality football from Marcus Rashford. And one of the main reasons why I'm also very optimistic for this is because of Hansi Flick. You have to realize who Hansi Flick is as a manager, what he's able to do. He took this Barcelona team at the beginning of last season, like I said he would. He would give these players confidence. He would give these players tactics and a play style that matched their capabilities. And he delivered on a fantastic season, winning a league title, winning Copa del Rey, winning the double, and basically reigniting the fire of Barcelona and single-handedly dragging them back to the top of Europe. And he did that with a team coming off a very unimpressive season the year previous with Xavi, a team full of youngsters, a team with senior players that were low on confidence. And he took them to that amazing season with Barcelona last year. At Bayern, his debut season as a full manager, Niko Kovac gets sacked. He takes over a Bayern team in November of 2019 with Müller, Lewandowski, Alaba, Boateng, Neuer, Kimmich, all these guys. And everyone thought all these players were finished. Bayern was 5th, 6th in the Bundesliga, doing okay. They were doing good in the Champions League, but they were 5th, 6th in the Bundesliga. Everyone, the discourse around that Bayern team was Muller's finished. Lewandowski was never good enough. Neuer's finished. Boateng's finished. Alba's finished. Thiago's trash and finished and injury prone. He took that team at the pit, at the depth of their despair, at the pit of their confidence, and he won 7 trophies with them. This menace, Hansi Flick made that team into a sextuple team, into one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous attacking side we've ever seen in the history of football. And you have a player now here who rebounded a bit at Aston Villa, but still probably is, in general, low on confidence. Hansi Flick knows how to get the best out of players who are in a slump. He knows how to reignite the fire in a player's belly and get them playing at their best again. He knows how to extract the talent out of players. And that is why I'm so ecstatic for this move for Barcelona, because if Hansi Flick can extract that talent from Rashford like he's done with so many players in his managerial career so far, Barcelona are getting an excellent player for very cheap and for a very potential cheap buy option in June 2026. And Marcus Rashford he's a good guy. Marcus Rashford is a good guy. He's always been a great ambassador for the sport, a good example off the pitch. He is getting the fresh start I feel like he's always deserved after Manchester United, with a manager that truly cares for him, and he has the chance to get back to the top of Europe, to become the player that we all thought that he could be. And in a World Cup year, he wants to go to Barcelona and play well and make that England team for World Cup 2026 in a year's time. So it's just overall a positive move here. It really is. And Marcus Rashford, he has the physicality. He has the speed, physicality, and everything to play in this Hansi Flick system. He has the quality to. Hansi Flick can extract the quality. The only thing that we don't know about Marcus Rashford at this point in time is, does he have the mentality? Is he mentally there? Was 6 months at Aston Villa, good to decent months at Aston Villa, enough to get him back on track? We'll see. But even if he isn't there mentally, Hansi Flick knows how to take a player out of that slump and push them to be the best player that they can be. So if I was a Barcelona fan, I'd be ecstatic about this. I'm a Bayern fan. This was a player I absolutely wanted Bayern to sign. But Barcelona get him, they get him on the loan, and it's just an overall great deal from the player perspective and the club perspective. It really is. And I'm pretty optimistic that Marcus Rashford will succeed at Barcelona this year, given the fact that Hansi Flick is his manager. I'm really sure of it, given the fact that I saw that under Unai Emery, the last 6 months at Aston Villa of this past season, he showed that he can get back to his level. Now it's just all about him and his mental and delivering for this Barcelona team. So, also there's also that aspect of he's an Englishman. Will he adapt to life in Spain? You know, the English love going to Spain. They love going to vacation there. So I'm sure they have no issue. And guys like Jude Bellingham and Trent, although they do play for Real Madrid, they also made the transition to Spain. And I'm sure he could talk to those guys if he ever feels like he needs advice. But overall, great deal. And I don't know what it is with Hansi Flick. And just another little tidbit on why I think this Marcus Rashford, the fact that it's a loan deal, the fact that I have hope for it, is because of Hansi Flick. In that year, he won the Sextuple with Bayern. Two very important squad players in that team were two loan players. And even at times, one of these guys was a starter in Ivan Perisic and Coutinho. These are two players that were also on a little bit of a slump in their career. Coutinho coming from Barcelona, and Ivan Perisic having a little bit of a slump as well at the time. I think he was at Inter. We got him from. And he took those two players and turned them into crucial players for the team, and even took Ivan Perisic to being a starter in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So I just getting this feeling that if Hansi Flick wanted him, he has a plan for him, and he will make it succeed. And he's had a lot of luck and a lot of success with loan players in the past. And if Marcus Rashford doesn't become a starter and he becomes an Ivan Perisic, what Ivan Perisic was to Bayern in 2020, he becomes that for Barcelona. That would still be a huge success for Rashford, because they still get a ton of minutes and be an impactful player, and that'd still be a huge W for Barcelona. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, with Rashford, you're also getting a guy that could play at striker as well. But I imagine Rashford is being brought in to play in the left wing. We'll see how the Rafinha number 10 situation will go. Will Rafinha eventually shift back out to the left? What will that do with Rashford? Those are questions we'll have to see the answers to during the season after things play out. But overall, great move for Rashford, great move for Barcelona. And as a Bayern fan, I am absolutely jealous of this move. And Barcelona get their guy for a great deal in comparison to the Nico Williams deal, where they would have had to pay him a huge salary and a big transfer fee, and Luis Diaz, where they would have had to pay a big transfer fee. For now, this season, they're getting a quality player that Hansi Flick can definitely make and get a lot of use out of. It's been your boy, Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.